10 stars that were fired by Disney. I mean, which is like everybody, like all of their stars eventually get fired. But let's check out, this is from The Trendy. I've not seen much from this channel, if anything, but let's check it out, dude. I am interested to see who doesn't make the cut as a Disney star. So let's get into it, man.
We always hear stories about celebrities becoming successful thanks to Disney. Selena Gomez, Olivia Holt, and
Wait,
Doug
is this the
Cameron
same
are
chick
just a few
from
of the latest
The
stars to
Richest?
come out of the Disney machine. But what about those who get fired from the iconic company? Curious to hear more? Keep watching until the end to see which YouTube sensation was let go halfway through the filming of a popular Disney Channel TV show. Before we start, make sure to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our Fire the voice actor who'd been playing the Green Puppet for the last 27 years.
Wait,
Disney
really?
originally tried to hide the firing by making it seem like it was Steve Whitmire's choice to resign from the Muppets franchise. But Steve was too emotionally distraught over losing his job, and he published a blog post in which he told everyone the truth about his replacement. He mentions in the post that Kermit has been his life's work since he was 19 years old, and that he would never consider abandoning the character. The role was especially important to him because he was handpicked by the family of the previous Kermit, Jim Henson. But the Henson family found that Steve's version of the frog has strayed completely away from Jim's original version of the character. Jim's daughter even posted on Facebook that Steve performed Kermit as a bitter, angry, and depressed victim. Worst of all, she continues, he has not been funny or fun. But there was apparently far more behind Disney's choice to recast than just some creative differences. In their statement about the matter, they said that the decision was years in the making, and that they had tried to talk to Steve before about his unacceptable business conduct. We're not sure who's really in the wrong here, but we just feel really bad for poor Kermit. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are the popular directing duo who had started working on the Han Solo Star Wars spin-off back in February 2017. You may already recognize their names as they were the writing and directing team behind some very successful movies like 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. But the president of Lucasfilm announced midway through June 2017 that they had chosen to part ways with Phil and Chris on the Han Solo project due to creative differences. If you didn't already know, Disney acquired Lucasfilm back in 2012 and has had full control over the multi-billion-dollar Star Wars franchise ever since.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember when that shit happened, man.
They have already been filming the movie for the past 4 months. According to some sources, the directing duo had been clashing with both the producer and co-writer of the movie for months. It seems that producer Kathleen Kennedy finally had had enough of their visions not aligning and decided that firing them would be the best solution. It was confirmed soon after that Ron Howard would be taking over the direction of the movie. However, no one's quite sure how the credits for the film will be divided, since Phil and Chris did direct a big chunk of it already. But Disney still promises Star Wars fans everywhere that the film will be open on schedule in May 2018. Mitchell Musso.
We ain't trying to lose no money.
Mitchell Musso from Miley Cyrus's show Hannah Montana? He played Hannah's best guy friend, Oliver Oken, from 2006 until the series ended in 2011. Now, we all know that Miley went through a weird phase once the show was over, but did you know that Mitchell was charged with 2 counts of drunk driving? He was actually arrested after being pulled over by police in California back in 2011. The police stopped his car after Mitchell didn't slow down in an accident zone where police were redirecting traffic. When he failed to pass a sobriety test, Mitchell blew over the legal level of blood alcohol content. He was also only 20 years old at the time, making it illegal for him to drink at all. But don't worry, Mitchell paid his $5,000 bail and was released from jail the same night. He still had to go to court over the issue, and his DUI is ultimately what probably cost him his gig on Disney's Pair of Kings show. Mitchell and Disney had apparently been in talks for months about him transitioning into young adult projects, but Disney had wanted him to finish filming one more season of Pair of Kings before moving on. After his arrest, Mitchell did not return to the show and was replaced by actor Adam Hicks, but he did still continue to voice the character of Jeremy on Phineas and Ferb.
Sweet.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp didn't really get fired by Disney, but he admitted back in 2015 that they wanted to fire him after the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Yet, Johnny went on to play the infamous Jack Sparrow in all 5 of the franchise's
he was so
films.
good, though,
It was actually
in that
Disney
role.
CEO Michael Eisner who first thought that Johnny was ruining the film. Johnny even received calls from the higher-ups of the company asking him what the heck he was doing with the character. They thought that he was maybe coming to work drunk. At one point, they were even going to put subtitles under Captain Jack's speech because they couldn't understand a word that Johnny was saying. He fully expected to be fired from the movie, but somehow was miraculously given the chance to stay on board. It must have been hard for Disney to allow him to do what he wanted with the character. They were probably worried about the backlash they would receive for Jack's drunken charm. But Johnny's rendition of the character was well received around the world, and Jack Sparrow is arguably the most famous character of his entire career. The films have even gone on to earn Disney over $1 billion. We can't even imagine the franchise without Jack's lovable antics. Doesn't Disney know that every role that Johnny plays is somehow gold?
Don't they know?
Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne played the role of Cece on Disney's Shake It Up from 2010 until the series ended in 2013. Although a gig on the Disney Channel may seem like a dream come true for most young actors, Bella admits that she never wanted to be a Disney girl. She didn't even want to audition for Shake It Up. She only did so because her family was going through financial troubles and would end up on the street if she didn't get the part. She
well, there you go.
That she wasn't allowed to be who she truly was while working for Disney. Her mom was so afraid that she would get fired that she begged Bella to be a good girl so the Disney execs would like her. Bella was even asked by Disney to talk in a higher-pitched voice because her natural voice was too deep to be appealing to viewers. We're not sure what happened behind closed doors, but Bella was reportedly not fired by Disney and left the channel on her own accord. She even told Nylon Magazine that she realized that her true fans would support her whether she decided to wear a crop top and short skirt or not. It sounds like Bella had a really tough time working with Disney. We'll never know what truly happened, but it's not even that improbable to us that Disney would fire her for marching to the beat of her own drum.
When you work for a company like Disney, you know, because they have an image that they really want to protect. And as people get older, they understand that the Disney Channel doesn't show people who they really are. The people on Disney are not who they are in real life, and if you're a fan of that person, then you follow them as you get older. So that's just like the natural way of things. But it makes sense that you should play by their rules for a while, and then go out and do your own thing afterwards, after you have a little bit of success.
Tommy Kirk. Tommy Kirk was one of the first well-known Disney stars as he starred in movies for Walt Disney Studios back in the 1950s. He caught the attention of a Hollywood agent after booking a minor role in a theater production at the Junior Pasadena Playhouse. Tommy immediately signed with the agent and went on to appear in other plays and even ended up on TV. It was apparently an episode of Matinee Theater that brought him to the attention of the great Walt Disney. Tommy signed a long-term contract with Walt Disney Studios and joined the original cast of the Mickey Mouse Club variety show. He is most famous for his roles in the movies Old Yeller and Swiss Family Robinson. He was a Disney golden boy and was on top of his game until the movie production company found out that he was gay. Tommy was also arrested after the party he was at was raided, but the charges were eventually dropped. These incidents caused Tommy to be fired from his role in a John Wayne Western, and Walt Disney Studios even released him from his contract early.
Damn.
Tommy admitted that Disney was the most conservative studio in town and that people in the company had been becoming less and less friendly towards him. But he was never ashamed of being gay and never apologized to anyone for being his true self. Rumor has it that Tommy was even fired by Walt Disney himself.
That's fucked up. That's true. That is
Chloe
so
Moritz
fucked
is
up.
one of today's most famous young actresses in Hollywood, and she didn't have to go through the Disney machine to gain her success. She is known for her badass role as Hit Girl in the Kick-Ass movies, and even starred in the 2013 remake of Carrie. With her blonde, all-American look and wholesome personality, Chloe seems like she would be the perfect Disney girl. However, she is known for tackling dark, mature roles and has been doing so since she was 7 years old. But did you know that she was the original voice of Penny in Disney's animated movie?
Really?
Chloe had fully recorded the role before Disney decided to recast it with Hannah Montana star Miley Cyrus. She wasn't exactly fired from the movie, but it must have hurt just as much to be replaced. It's speculated that the decision to recast came after the original director was fired from the project. The director who took over must have thought that Chloe's voice was too young for the character. Disney did, however, use some of her recordings for the parts of the movie in which Penny is younger, and Chloe is credited as playing young Penny. Miley was a huge star back in 2008, and the producers probably thought that she would be a more popular choice with viewers. But Chloe still worked with Disney as the voice of Darby on the Playhouse Disney Channel, and it seems like there's no bad blood between her and the Disney execs. PewDiePie. YouTube's biggest star, PewDiePie, was dropped by Disney's Maker Studios at the beginning of 2017 due to some...
Does that really count?
Inappropriate sentiments
Does
in his
this
videos,
really count?
but PewDiePie, also known as Felix, has made a career out of being inappropriate and is famous for his excessive swearing while gaming. He is the most followed YouTuber ever, and his provocative behavior seems to be what attracts people to watch his content. So, what
it's his provocative behavior. That's why we tune into the Pew. It's for the provocative behavior.
Felix do that was bad enough for Disney to feel the need to cut ties? Well, he posted a couple of videos that featured anti-Semitic imagery and sentiments, and although Felix swears that he does not approve of the racist movement, Maker Studios announced that these inappropriate videos went too far. To cut ties? Well, he posted a couple of videos that Disney took a cut of his revenue in return for helping him with merchandise and video production. It seems like he'll now have to do those things on his own. But Felix fired back in a blog post that all of the videos that were deemed anti-Semitic were created to show how crazy the modern world is. Ultimately, the jokes are still offensive, and probably shouldn't have been posted in the first. Disney has had some legitimate reasons to fire some of the stars on this list, but what is a Disney star to do when everyone thinks that they're trying to get fired by the big mouse? Miley Cyrus battled that exact rumor back in 2008 while she was filming the Disney Channel series Hannah Montana. Some unreliable sources had stated that she was so over the series and was hoping to get fired from the show so that she could be free from it all. It was even rumored that her and her dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, had been coming to set late and were wasting the production's time and money. Miley reportedly wanted to leave the show so that she could focus more on her music. But Miley's reps were quick to shut down all of these rumors, and it seems like the Disney starlet never had any intention of dropping her contract for the show. She even told People magazine that she was fully committed to Hannah Montana and was thankful for the amazing opportunities that it had given her. So Miley never did get fired by Disney, but it does suck that she had to deal with people thinking she wanted to get dropped. She did eventually leave Disney behind in 2011, but only because it was natural for her to do so. Miley did turn into a little wild child after her Disney stint, but that's another story entirely. Jake Paul. This next star who got fired is probably the biggest shocker of all the names on our list.
Why is that a shocker that Jake Paul got fired?
2017 that he had decided to leave his Disney Channel show, Bizaardvark. A spokesman for Disney even confirmed the decision was mutual, but it seems weird to us that Jake would decide to leave in the middle of filming season 2. Could it be that he was let go because of his crazy YouTube antics? If you're not familiar with Jake, he's an obnoxious YouTube star who lives in a mansion with other social media stars and spends his days vlogging about his crazy life. He has received a bunch of negative attention before his Disney departure due to the chaos that he's been causing in his neighborhood. Dedicated fans line up on his street every day trying to get a glimpse of him. He's also constantly filming pranks and pulling off dangerous stunts at home. Jake even once admitted himself that his neighbors hate him, but his departure from the kids show may also have something to do with the fact that his general behavior isn't very PG. He is also one of the biggest YouTubers that people love to hate on. But Jake says that he decided to leave because he wanted to focus on his personal brand and also wants more adult acting work. Did he get fired? Did he quit on his own? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
You know, it's funny because Jake Paul said that himself, like, he's playing a kid on the Bizaardvark show. And like, when you're an adult, that's the one thing that a lot of shows do a lot, is they cast adults to play kids. And that's like one issue people have, is like, yo, when they say they want more work, when they start working at Disney at like 14, you know, as they grow older, the character that they're playing doesn't change their age. You know what I mean? So that, not only can that be a really uncomfortable thing for people to do, it can be a really annoying thing to have to do, to constantly play a child, even though you're not a child at all. And after you make that money for a couple seasons, like, dude, you have enough money where you can go off and do other stuff, man. So why not? But yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy, dude. I don't know, fucking, it's weird how history remembers stuff, dude. It's weird how people are gonna remember, like, the whole Jake Paul situation or the PewDiePie situation. That's just weird. But anyways, I suppose that's all you can do. I'll see you guys in the next one, Czechoslovakia. Peace.